what is the status of biological difference of the in this thing that we are calling sex? What is, because when we're talking about there's not a binary signifier, I'm not exactly sure how that relates to perceptively we experience ourselves as either having wombs or penises or not, and that having one or the other does not just affect us in terms of the norms that are put on us and the way that people talk to us and the way that we display or perform ourselves, but also changes your status in the world across cultures. Transhistorically, a person with a womb is under a different kind of threat than a person who is not, and they're usually under threat because of the people who do not have them. And so it's like, that seems like a natural basis for some kind of a binary, but you're saying there's not a binary signifier. And so I think I think maybe this will lead into something that will help us clarify what you're talking about. But that's kind of what I think to be probably a necessary point of clarification.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably difficult to answer without getting a bit theoretical or conceptual, but yes, I mean, first, there is like the anatomical difference clearly exists, and there is, but you answered in a way, you answered your own kind of question about these contradictions. Okay, there are like people with wombs and people with penises, and but there is no binary signifier, because precisely the idea here is that we are, I mean, the idea that psychoanalysis came up with is that the womb is not the binary signifier. And I really don't think, I know that some feminists are making this argument, but I'm really kind of extremely skeptical of this move of making the womb the feminine binary signifier, because this would kind of bring us, I don't know, somewhere that I would not be very happy.
It's a conservative.
So the idea is, yeah, there is only one signifier, which is the kind of phallic signifier, in the sense of something that works, that designates, let's say, the fact that if anatomy is a destiny, it is only destiny if you choose it as such. What I mean is that even if you identify with your own anatomy, this is already an identification. There is nothing directly organic without it. It's not that because you have, I don't know, a penis, you are automatically, no, there is an identification that you make if you want to identify with this particular feature or not. So it's not that it grows with your penis, but it comes as a kind of subjective act of relating yourself to this anatomical feature, which is clearly there and which has been historically and massively, this kind of machine, this kind of a primer scene that takes place at the hospital when they leave the kid and they said, okay, has it or doesn't have it? So it's feminine or masculine. So, and this has been, this binary, to use the word here, is to have it or not have it. But the way, what Lacan makes out of this is something very different, which is to make explicit, to expose, to show how actually this anatomical difference started to play as a most, let's say, mysterious, symbolic meaning or signification. What I want to say is that, I sometimes, again, am quite puzzled when these reproaches of phallocentrism fall upon psychoanalysis, at least Lacanian psychoanalysis. Why? Because I think that it was only based on what Freud and Lacan did, that we even had the vocabulary to start talking about phallocentrism. Because what was the kind of key move of psychoanalysis was precisely to force this kind of mysterious thing, or this thing, phallos, that was reserved for mysteries all through the history of this kind of, there is always a certain mystery at the center of everything. This is phallos. It's not some, and to say, okay, but this mystery is nothing else but something that corresponds to complete anatomical contingency. And I think it is precisely at that point when this connection was exposed between some kind of profound, transcendental, symbolic, whatever signification, and anatomical contingency, this little piece of real which has no meaning in itself, that a crucial step was accomplished in precisely demysticizing this phallocentric logic, which is a logic, which is not simply prizing, the organ, and not. It is a whole. It is a certain logic. It is precisely a logic of something. I don't know. I have sometimes this example, which I think it could be quite illustrious in saying what is the phallic logic. There is this definition of comedy which says, or the origin of comedy, which says that the origin of comedy, this is from Aristotle, were these Dionysian processions in which people would carry this kind of huge phallos of really huge proportions and sing songs full of ambiguous innuendo. And now just ask yourself this question, what is the innuendo therefore if you are carrying the thing itself, like on the big plate, So, but the answer is precisely phallos or phallic logic is nothing else but innuendo. Innuendo, it refers to the nothing that is itself. It's not. It doesn't refer. Phallos is not the real thing behind the symbolic innuendo. It is the very logic of innuendo. And to give you another comic example, which I think also can be very suggestive, there is this kind of funny sketch by Rowan Atkinson where he performs a kind of, this is a stand-up act, and it goes like this, that he's supposedly the whatever teacher at this school, and he enters the class is the audience of the stand-up, dressed in this formal English outfit for whatever professors, and then he checks the presence of the pupils, reading out names. And it starts with anus, ars bandit, clitoris, and so on. So he just goes on and gives these names. And what is really funny, and obviously this produces all is that actually it is by saying the things, the names themselves. He doesn't say, okay, instead of clitoris, I don't know, this little button, whatever. He says it, but still the whole stand-up act comes across as a huge innuendo, although the anatomical parts are named in the speech as being names of these students. And I think this is another good example of what is phallic logic. It is precisely referring back to nothing but itself, but this reference produces a certain kind of movement which produces a kind of mystery of innuendo, or the effect of the thing behind it, or whatever, and also the effect of the thing that, because it is kept secret, maintains its power. So it is, so perhaps, I don't know, I lost the thread, but I hope,
Can I jump in here?